Hi guys, welcome to Deep Diver. In this video, we will discuss for loop, which is the one and only loop in Golang. If you have worked with other languages like C, C++, Java before, then you have must worked with for loop, while loop and do while loop. But as the Golang developers wanted to keep the language simple and easy to learn, they decided that Golang will have only one loop, which is for loop. And the interesting part is this for loop can do everything. Let us dive deep into this for loop. So this is my VS Code, and here I have already created this folder 7 underscore for underscore loop, and inside this folder I have already created this for loop.go, where we will be doing all the coding related with for loop. So as usual I will add the package main here, okay, and the function main as well. So let us first see how we can create a classic for loop. Okay, so first we will use the keyword for. Then we will initialize a variable. Let us say the variable name is I and we are initializing it with 0. Then we will give the condition. Let us suppose we want to print numbers from 0 to 9. So we will give the condition as I is less than 10. And then we will increment this I using this I plus plus. Okay, then we will give this curly bracket, and inside this curly bracket I just want to print the value of I. So value of I, and then I will pass I here. Okay, now let us open the terminal and run this code. Let us run this code using go run command. So go run for loop.go. So here you can see it is printing value of I from 0 to 9. Okay, so one thing you might notice here that is different from other languages in this for loop is there are no brackets here. Okay, as you have seen in the case of if else as well, there was no bracket. Similarly, in the case of for as well, there is no bracket. Okay, now let us look into how we can create infinite loop in Golang. Creating infinite loop in Golang is very simple. You just give this for keyword, okay, and anything you provide between this curly bracket will keep executing infinitely. Okay, so let us say I want to just print a message here, infinite loop. Okay, let me comment the previous code, save it and run it again. So go run for loop.go, you can see infinite loop is getting printed infinite times. Okay, so let me interrupt this execution by Control C. As we have discussed earlier, the for loop is the only loop in Golang, but it can provide the functionality of while as well as do while loop. So let us look into those one by one. First, let us look into while loop. So in other languages, how we use while loop? First we declare variable, let us say j with some value, right, and then we use the while keyword and then provide the condition, let us say j is less than 5. Inside this loop we increment the variable and we do some operation inside this bracket, right. So in a similar way we can implement the while loop in Golang as well. So first we will have the variable declared here. So let us say we are declaring a variable j, okay, then we use the for keyword and then we give the condition, let us say here we also give j is less than 5, okay, and then we give the curly brackets, and inside this curly bracket we increment this j, let us say by 1 every time, and then we can print whatever message we want to print here. Okay, let us say we are just printing value of j and we will pass j to this println. Okay, let us run this code. So go run for loop.go and it should print. Okay, so I haven't like commented out the infinite loop code, so let us do that first. I will comment this, okay, and now let us try to run it again. So go run for loop.go, you can see this loop is getting executed, right, value of j is getting printed from 0 to 4. Okay, so this is how you can provide the functionality of while loop using for in Golang. Now let us look into the do while loop. So how do we implement do while loop in other languages? We use the keyword do and then the curly brackets, then we give the keyword while, and then we give the condition. Let us say this time we want to give the condition as k is less than 5. Obviously we need to first initialize this variable as well, right? And inside this curly brackets we do some kind of operation, right? So the major difference between the while and do while loop is, as in do while loop this condition checking happens later, the code inside this curly brackets execute at least once. Okay, so let us try to achieve that using for. The first thing we need to obviously initialize this variable k colon equal to 0, right? And then we'll need to use this for keyword. So as in do while the code need to be executed at least once, so we will not give any condition after this for. Okay, and this do while, let us increment this k as well, so k plus plus, and let us say we want to print the value of k. So here what will happen, k is initialized as 0 and then we are checking if k is less than 5. So here it will print 0 1 2 3 4. So same thing we want here as well. Okay, so let us say we print the value of k, print ln value of k, and pass k to this println, and then we'll increment this k. Now we need to break whenever this k has printed up to 4, which means k has reached 5. So we'll give the condition as if k is greater equal 5, and then we'll give the break keyword. So this break keyword, what it does, it breaks the loop. So whenever this condition will hold true, this break keyword will execute and the execution will come out of this loop, right? So if I save and run this again, you can see it is printing the value of k from 0 to 4, right? Now let us verify this code fmt.println execute at least once irrespective of this condition here. Okay, so as this for loop is starting from here, first thing what will do, it will print this only. Okay, even if we give condition like k is less than 5, which is obviously true for the first time as well, first it will print this, then k will be incremented to 1, and then it will check. So it will break, but only if this print statement has been executed once. Okay, so this was do while loop. Now let us look into how we can iterate over an array using this for loop. Okay, so let me comment all the earlier codes first. Okay, let us create an array with variable name array, and we'll keep the array size as 4, keep the data type as int, and we will initialize with some random value. Okay, so this is our array. If you want to iterate over this array, one naive way is to do like this, where we initialize a variable from 0 and we'll go to the index size of the array -1. So size of the array here can be calculated using the len function. So we will use the len function here and pass the array here, and we'll do I++, and then we can print the index. Let us use printf, and if the index %d, then value %d, and then pass this index which is I and the value which is array I. Okay, if I run this code, you can see the values are getting printed. Let me add a new line here as well, okay, for better output. So go run for loop.go, you can see index and their corresponding values are getting printed. This works perfectly fine, but there is a better way to do this. Okay, and that is for with range. Okay, so we are gonna use two keywords, for and range, and using those we can iterate over the arrays. So let me show you that. So let me use index value and then colon equal, and we will range over the array. Okay, so here in this printf we will pass the index here, and instead of array I we'll pass the value here. Okay, so how this range works is it will go from the starting, okay, and it will give you the index and the value. So if I run this code again, you can see the index and the values are getting printed. Now let us say in some scenarios we may not need this index, but if I get rid of this index and remove it from this print function as well, okay, what do you think it will print? So it will print only the indexes, because here we are only capturing the first thing this range over an array provides. We are capturing index in this value. Okay, so let me go back to index one. So I will add the index here, but here you see it is giving an error, declared and not used, and we don't want to use this index as well. So what is the solution? So for that purpose, Golang provides you a specific variable called underscore, which can be used to discard values. So when we use this underscore, the index gets stored in this and the value gets stored in this val variable. So if I run this code again, you will see the values are getting printed in order. Okay, so this underscore, you can assume it like a write only variable. You can write to it, but you cannot read it. So even if I do something like this, fmt, let us say dot printf, and let us try to print this underscore. Okay, so it will give error, cannot use underscore as value or type. Okay, so this underscore is write only variable. So you can assume this underscore like a trash can, where you can throw things into it but you cannot take it out. Okay, so this for with range is not only applicable to arrays, it can be used to strings, slices and maps as well. We will see how we can use for with range with string, slices and map when we discuss those concepts. That's it for this video. See you in the next one.